They have them fancy like this. In the beginning, God. Let me just write it out in English this way. Elohim, E-L-O-H-I-M. Elohim, God. Y'all familiar with that one, aren't you? Everybody's comfortable with that so far. Yet right here, they translated it angel, exactly the same Hebrew word. Same Hebrew, no difference. And so, years ago, I sat under Finus Jennings Day, who had the Bible memorized, and so I thought since my teacher had the Bible memorized, then it was my responsibility to memorize the Bible. That's a pretty hard task to do. And so I began to listen to Brother Dave, who wrote the Dave Bible, which I use one, have for years and years and years. Don't believe any of the notes. I use them just exactly opposite now to what he said they were. So whatever he said it was, I realize it's not. So whatever he said it's not, I realize it is. Wasn't a real hard concession for me. It just worked real well. But Brother Dave began to teach me some things, and I appreciate him and thank God for him and all that he did for me in those early years and early days. But here, this translation, King James, it caused me up front years ago in my young mind, it caused me to be suspicious of the translators. And in my suspicion, I asked myself this question: why do they not say the same thing? Because in my minute thinking, it seems like consistency would have been a good answer. Because if you're going to say Elohim is one thing in one place, then why not say Elohim is the same thing in another place? Yeah. Why say that Elohim is judges or magistrates if you're talking about kings or you're talking about people over natural people? And then why say in another place that it's God, singular, when you're trying to build a concept and an idea, where in another place you say it's gods with an S on it, calling it plurality? And so everybody knows, God forgive us that we would get into some kind of a plurality of gods. But anybody who will do a little bit of homework in Hebrew, and when you do that, you'll realize the Hebrew word Elohim is plurality of energy systems. It not any way you can squeeze any shape, form, or fashion the Hebrew word Elohim down to being something singular. It's multifaceted. Yes. It's plural. And so it's used that way in some places, and in other places it's not used that way. In other places it's used and it just says God, just like Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God. Then you go over here in another place and it says gods. We'll look at that. So he says right here, you made him a little lower or a little, it doesn't mean lesser. It has nothing to do with lesser. It just has to do with the energy system that is Elohim as it became matter. Lowered itself into matter. Didn't make it less. It didn't deplete it. It didn't deplenish it. It didn't do anything to it. It lowered itself into matter. Say, that's me. That's me. That's me. So who am I? Who am I? Who is me? And, well, I ain't going to say that. I ain't going to say that I am God. Well, what else could you be? See, you got real slow catching on here. Or maybe you're not mad. I hope you're not. So he said, I've lowered myself into matter. You see, I've taken myself out of the infinite and I've put myself into the finite. I've taken myself out of the limitless and put myself into the limited. But still in limited, I'm limitless. Amen. You see, in the infinite, I'm still finite. You see, in that seems to be impossible, I'm still possible. You see, God comes into all of your impossibilities with possibility. When you say it's impossible, God says it's possible. But you see, that's who we are. We try to say, well, that was because you had special faith. No, that's because you begin to recognize the energy that you really are. So when you don't be afraid to say that I am God. Jesus said it this way. Me and my Father are the same thing. John chapter 10, Jesus said, if you've seen me, you have seen the Father. That's a settled fact, done deal. And you know what you said? You let the church convince you through religion that He was something special and you're not. He was the representation of humanity in all of its shape, form, and fashion. He represented you as you, and He said, as I am, you are too. Now you can get upset about that or you can get excited about that. It really don't matter. I want to get excited about it because I begin to realize that there's not any difference here. No one distinction at all. So as He is, so am I. So, we're taught to think by religion that I'm just this gob of flesh. I'm just this limited glob. I'm just this material thing. And I'm just manifesting. You say, I'm working on this bilocation deal. I know it's possible. I don't even question it. See, I'm not even trying to adopt it as a belief system. I already know that I have an ability to bilocate. I also have an ability to commune and to talk with you. I don't care if you're on the other side of the world. That's right. The Aborigines practice this on a lower scale. Huh? Yeah, they do. They do. And so I know that we have these unique abilities, see, because there's not any break in energy. Energy is a continuous thing and it's everywhere all at the same time. And I'm linked to it. I'm one with it. Right. But I've accepted a lie that says I'm separate from it because I'm just this material glob of manifestation. Your physical body is not a mistake. It is not. Your physical body is one of the most marvelous, glorious things that is so unique. There are so many things going on in you right now. It bogs the mind down. If you begin to realize right now you don't even have to think and your body's growing a toenail. You don't even have to think and your body is bladdering while it bladders. You don't have to think and you're breathing, your heart's beating. You're doing marvelous things. You're doing a million things at this very moment. You don't know it. Marvelous. You're not a mistake. You're not lesser than anything. It's phenomenal how God has created you. Who is man? What are you? Who are you? What am I? Well, I tell you, I am the visible, material manifestation of Yihah. Glory to God. That puts something down in my feet. I'm not sure what it is. I heard Brother Hagin say one time, a long time, about 30 years ago when I was listening to that faith, he said, oh, glory's in my feet, and he wanted to take off and run. Feel that. See, y'all just have me and hold on to me real close here. Now, you're right there in Psalms. Just go over with me a few books. Psalms 139. Squeeze what we can out here. Just wave a red flag and I'll stop anytime.
That's why he said that.
Psalms 139. Verse 7. Wish I had. Does anybody have a living Bible? Living Bible. Y'all afraid to carry one of them? They're really good. Some places they're way more accurate. Got amplified. Okay, I think Connie's got an amplified. Verse 7, it says, where shall I go from your presence, from your spirit? Where shall I flee from your presence? Oh, I wish I had a living Bible. What does the amplified say?
Where could I go with your spirit? Or where could I flee from your presence?
Where can I flee from your presence? It says this so clearly in the Living Bible. It says, where could I go that I would need to be saved?
Wow.
Amen. That's what it's in the Living Bible. It says, where could I go that I would need to be saved? Do you know why? It's implying a very simple fact. There's not anywhere I can go. There's not anything I can do that you're not there. I can't go from you. I can't be away from you no matter where. Not at all. Where can I go? If I ascend into heaven, verse 8, you're with me. If I make my bed in hell, you're there. If I take the wings of the morning, I dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall your hand lead me, and your right hand will hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from you. But the night shineth as the day, the darkness as the light, and both are alike to you. There's no difference. There's no difference in light and dark in God's eyes. As far as God's concerned, they're both alike. They're both the same. Verse 13 says, for you have possessed my reins. You have possessed my reins. And I read that, I thought, what does he mean he's got a hold of my reins? And when I was a little boy, I lived on a farm, and my grandpa, he had a mule called Rhodey. We plowed that mule. In the summer, we plowed our garden, small garden, and I plowed Rhodey when I was a little boy. And that big old mule, I'd just strap those reins, and here we would go. Just set the plow, and the mule does the rest if you know how to do it. I'm not saying it's not hard work. It is hard work, but an 8, 10, 12-year-old boy can do it. You strap those reins, especially if you've got a good mule that knows G and Hop. Most of y'all don't know G and Hop. But when you have a good mule, he knows G and Hop, and you were back there, you got that plow set, G, ha, 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 G, and that mule knows exactly what you're saying, because you have this communication going on. And he said right here, God, you possess my reins. And I thought, well, it must be his mule plow. That's not what it means. That's not at all what it says. If you will, hold your finger right here and turn with me to Proverbs chapter 8. We'll come right back over here. Just want you to see something. Proverbs chapter 8. It says in verse 22, Proverbs chapter 8, 22, it says, the Lord possessed me in the beginning of his ways. Possessed me. Quanah. Hebrew quanah. The Lord possessed me. He quanah me. And the word just simply means he recovered me and he redeemed me before I ever said it.
Hallelujah. Think about that. Wow.
Did you get that?
Yes.
He quanah.
Yes.
That's his reins. That's his guiding ability. You see, he redeemed you and he recovered you before you ever started. You think that there's anywhere you can go or anything you can do that God don't know? God knows you sitting down, he knows you sleeping, he knows you rising up. There's nowhere you can go that God's not there, that God's not. He sees what's happening. Possessed me in the beginning of his ways before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. I was with him. I was set up. I was predetermined. I was dharma. That's exact. I was purposed. In the dharma, the purpose and the design of God, I came in here with a karma. And that karma was a gift from God that says, that's a hurdle. That karma is your hurdle, Lynn, and I want you to climb over it because it'll give you strength. And then he called that hurdle Satan. And we thought that was my enemy. Yeah. It's not. Religion told you that lie. So he said in verse 23, I was set up from everlasting and from the beginning, forever the earth was. When there was no depth, I was brought forth. When there was no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills, was I brought forth, while as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest parts of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. Do you understand? I'm talking about who you are. You have to get a hold of who you are. He said, man, I was there with you before you ever set this thing up. Yes. So he prepared the heavens. I was there when he set a compass upon the face of the deep, when he established the clouds, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea his decree that the waters should not pass the command, when he appointed the fountains of the earth, then I was by him. Who are you? You're far more. You think that you're just some kind of a material manifestation called Lynn? No, you're so far much beyond that. You're more than you can possibly imagine. Amen. Hold your place there in Psalms. I think I'm going to try to come back over there. Just quick with me this on this rabbit trail. John chapter 10. John chapter 10. Your physical body is not a mistake, and you can begin to look at it, you begin to recognize it, you'll begin to see that it's not a mistake. You'll realize that you are far greater than you recognize or you realize that you are. You see the mystery of the magic of the seed. The seed. The mystery of the magic of the seed. I like that. I made that up. I just love that. I think that sounds so good. If you'll chew on it, you will too. The mystery. I like mysteries. You know, God says, I took this and I hid it. Yes. I hid it in a dark place. And you're going to have courage to go in the dark place, because when you get in the dark place, you realize it ain't dark.
That's right.
You know, the darkest place that there was in the Old Testament was the Holy of Holies, because there was no light there. Except God. And that's all God is light. And so there where there was total darkness, guess what? It was light. And you and I thought, well, I thought it was dark in there. I know what you thought. John chapter 10. You see, your physical body can be one of two things. It can be a prison or it can be a mansion.
That's right.
And you can let it control you, or you can control it.
Amen.
I would have got more than one amen. You can let it control you, or you can control it. You can let it destroy you, or you can enjoy it. It is wonderful. It's marvelous. Hallelujah. Jesus said, John chapter 10, verse 30. I want you to see this. I and my Father are one. Now you know, you remember, all of you Bible students and scholars, you realize that got him in deep water. Deep water. That got him in real deep water. I and my Father are one. Look down at verse 34. Jesus answered and he said, is it not written in your law that you have said? Your law said you are gods. Elohim. That's the word Elohim right here. Elohim. Did you notice how they pluralized it? You notice it's not one. And I know, I hear all that. You know, I hear that in the back of my mind. Somebody, yeah, but brother, then the Old Testament says that the Lord our God is one God. You know what? I know that. You know what? I know what that says in Hebrew.
Yeah.
And you know what? I bet you don't. I have these Hebrew people call me. I'll leave that alone.
What does it mean?
Let me go on this record. We'll get back. Verse 34, Jesus answered and he said, is not written, is it not written? Is it not written in your law that it says that you are gods? Or Elohim? And you know what Jesus said? Don't you realize that you're energy?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Well, they got mad. They said, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Verse 35. If he called them gods unto whom the word came, and the scriptures cannot be broken, say ye of him whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world, you blaspheme, because I said I am the Son of God. What is he trying? He's trying to soothe them by simply saying, there's not any difference between me and the Father. If I say I'm the Son, I say I'm the Father. I say I'm the Father. I say I'm the Son. I say I'm the same thing.
Yeah.
Look at chapter 17. Chapter 17. Look at verse 11. It says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee, Holy Father, keep through your own name those whom you have given me, that they, say that's me, that they may be what? One
As we
are. Uh-oh. Huh? Look down at verse 21. Same thing, look at verse 21. And he said, that they may all be one, as though Father in me and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have, sometimes I get upset because they translated that word believe all through the New Testament. It's the Greek word pistis. And it actually doesn't have anything to do with believing. It has to do with an intuitive knowing that causes you to trust. And so a far better word would be trust. Because you see, whenever you trust something, you trust somebody, you trust something, then you know it. You don't have to believe that. You see, the very fact that you believe something tells me you don't even know it yet. If you knew it, you don't have to believe it. Gary don't have to believe that he's Gary Ziegler. He just knows that. That's an intuitive thing. He already knows. He don't need to believe that. So Jesus is saying that you would trust. Trust what? Trust your oneness. That you will trust, that you may be one in us, that they may trust that you have sent me, that the glory which you have given me, I give them, that they also may be one, even as we are one. Verse 23, I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one. You get the picture? What's the picture? The picture's saying we're one. The picture is just simply saying there's not any separation, there's not any difference, there's not any division. We are all one, and this energy system that we are is one energy system. Look back at John 10, verse 10. Y'all know this, can quote this, but look at it real quickly. And I'll kind of wind down here. I want to hear from some of you. John 10:10. The thief comes but for to steal and to kill and to destroy, but I am. Everybody say, I am. I am. I am come that you might have what? Life. You see, this is the choice that God has given you and I, that we would choose life, and choose that life in all of its abundance. How many of you are familiar with that word, I am? You know, there's a movement of people, and there's a group of people that call themselves the I am group, and well, that's fine. Could be some of you guys, and that's wonderful, and I don't have any difficulty with that. I am, too. I am. Alif Hey Yod Hey. That's what that. Alif Hey Yod Hey. And the long form of that is Elohim. Alif Hey Yod Hey. 1, 5, 10, 5. That's the Hebrew code as it is in numerical value. And so when you see what that numerical value meant, because it's a matter of understanding formula. It's sort of like looking at algebra or chemistry, and it's looking at formulas. How many of you remember The Matrix, or how many of you remember the movie A Beautiful Mind? You guys saw that movie, Beautiful Mind? He was able to use his mind and see things that most people couldn't see. And so that's exactly what the Hebrew code is all about. It's giving you an ability to see things that normally you won't see when you look at it with your carnal mind. That's what the Hebrew code is all about. Learning to see how this energy system breaks itself down. See that? Breaks itself down. You don't know it. It breaks itself down in you in multiple facets of energy.
Right.
Yes.
And so Jesus says, I am. This says this. This wasn't referring to a person. This was referring to the energy of I am that Moses encountered on the mountain. Exodus chapter 3. When Moses encountered this energy system appeared as a fire. It appeared as energy. And in that energy began to volumer, emanate itself into this man. Now, you know, as far as I'm concerned, and this is exactly how I feel within my gut, that's what we are communing. We are communing around this energy of fire here. We are all drawn from all parts of the country, literally, to commune with this energy system and drink it and play in it and bathe in it and allow this energy system of Elohim, Eha, Aha, to transform us, to change us. No striving, no trying, no repeating. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just exposing myself to this energy, and this energy will of its own self raise me up into planes and places that it has already predetermined that I seek and that I am to carry out my mission here in this earth. I am. So that's who I am. Me.